When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello YouTube, welcome back to the GreaseCom YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be another one on the Maesters and them being sus and doing some weird stuff. I guess this is just the Maesters are weird week. I've already done another video this week talking about the dragons becoming smaller and then eventually dying out. So if you guys wanted to see that video, I uploaded that video on Tuesday. But this video, we're going to be discussing, were the Maesters involved in Summerhall? So I would say what most people think happened at Summerhall was kind of an accident, where Aegon V was trying to bring back the dragons, and something just went wrong with wildfire or something to that degree, and he got a lot of his family killed, himself killed, and it was like a great Targaryen tragedy that kind of, it didn't really spell the end for the Targaryens, but was another factor leading to it. But before we get into the video, if you guys like to like, subscribe, and comment for more of this type of content, please do. It helps channel grow to people that might like this content as well. And let's get into it. Also, I want to know, do you guys think there was something else going on at Summerhall? Or do you think it really was just an accident that occurred? Or do you think was there some malicious things going on with the Maesters? So let's kind of discuss why the Maesters may have some sort of motivation here to try and deter Aegon from doing this, or to try and kill more Targaryens, I guess. So the first one would be, I think Aegon was trying to bring back the dragons. I think that is very much made clear. Now, whether he actually did it for maybe a short period of time, or if he did just fail and maybe the Maesters caused some sort of quote-unquote accident and he ends up dying, is very unclear. But it really doesn't matter when you look at it from a Maester's point of view. The Maesters do not want to bring magic back into the world. The Maesters do not want dragons back in the world. Something House of the Dragon has done a very decent job of showing is that if you don't have a dragon in Westeros, then and you have no chance of getting one, like a dragon egg or a Targaryen in your family, you very much do not want the dragons to be around, right? You'd rather have them gone, right? Because they are a major problem. If you're someone that's rich, you have a large army, doesn't matter because of the dragons. The Maesters kind of think this way, but also go up from it. So they don't want magic, like I've talked about. They don't want the dragons. It's very well established. We have Marwyn telling Samwell in Old Town that, who do you think killed the dragons the last time? And it's something I talked about in Tuesday's video, but this could be referring to Summerhall, right? So maybe the dragons, like he actually hatched some sort of dragons, and the Maesters caused some sort of incident to where the dragons were killed. And that is kind of the overall arching idea. Now, also, what this would do for the Maesters is, again, they don't like the Targaryens, right? We've seen this kind of documented with how, if you look at Fire and Blood, how they treat certain people opposed to other people, like the Hightowers, for instance. When you get to the Dance of the Dragons segment, the point of view is very much in favor of the Hightowers. They're very much biased towards the Hightowers. And that is because the Hightowers are in Old Town, where the Maesters train. It's basically the Maester College, for you guys that don't know. And it would make a lot of sense for them to destabilize the Targaryens. They can make it look like an accident, and they could also continue to break the Targaryen line and create more chaos in kind of the ascendancy to the throne. If you look at it, I am someone that believes that they helped do that to spark the Dance of the Dragons with Rhaenyra and also Aegon. That they were kind of helping along the entire time to split up the two factions and create a conflict like the Dance of the Dragons, which ends up killing majority of the dragons. So what does this end up doing? If you really look at it, right, there are only two kings after Aegon, and there are not a lot of Targaryens left after this point. There's not a lot, right? You have the Mad King, who, you know, ends up having Rhaegar at Summerhall, right? So Rhaegar's born amongst Summerhall, basically, in its fire and smoke and all that. So the point here, though, is there just isn't a lot of Targaryens, right? There's just not. Right, you have Maester Aemon, who he's at the wall at this point. Blood Raven's at the wall at this point. the line of the Targaryens is very unsteady. And where the plot or the seeds being plotted right here for a Robert's Rebellion to happen years before it even happens. Maybe. We just don't know. And I think there's so many interesting variables that we will eventually probably get in the Dunk and Egg novellas towards the end of it. But it's going to be interesting to look at that idea, because if we look at why Aegon V was trying to bring back dragons, it's because A, his children were not doing a great job, and he felt like he couldn't control the realm to the extent of where there was like rebellions and things like this, that he needed dragons. The dragons were always the main source of Targaryen power, right? And if you look at ever since the Targaryens have lost the dragons, there have been rebellions really for every single king after. There was a couple kings here and there that did a very good job and were able to put them down and try to keep peace, but it never lasted that long. Because you can never really have another ruler like Jaehaerys where he could rule with using the dragons, but not using the dragons for like warfare, kind of flaunting them around and showing, you know, if you mess with us, this is what's going to happen to you, right? The Targaryens weren't ever able to kind of recover after the Dance of the Dragons. It really was the downfall of them. So when you look at the Maesters, this almost feels like just a nail in the coffin. Like, why wouldn't the Maesters take this opportunity? We know that Aegon is probably playing around with wildfire or dangerous things. It's so easy for the Maesters to make this look like an accident and also kill off Targaryens. Get rid of these eggs, whether they hatch, whether they don't hatch, doesn't matter. It's a perfect scenario for the Maesters to come in and destabilize the Targaryens even more than they already were at this point. So that is kind of the whole idea for this video. I've done a video in the past talking about the tragedy of Summerhall, but I wanted to come at it from a different angle. I'm not sure how much I believe this theory. I think it is one of the more likely ones, because I think, for me, I am someone that believes in a lot of the Maesters have a lot of ulterior motives going on. And I think this one is probably one of the more unlikely ones, just based upon the way Aegon V is set up and how he's kind of a tragic character towards the end of his life and how things end up going. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think down in the comments? Do you guys have counter arguments to it? Do you guys kind of agree with it? Let me know what your guys' stance on it, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.